I gotta take you down, get my opponents back. Destroy your master!
Good evening. I'm just doing a quick audio check before we get into the show here. It's only going to take about 2 seconds, and it looks and sounds good, so we're going to get right into the show, guys. Tonight, we will be going into the YCS, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to enter the day with being able to see my replays from this week. They're pretty funny, and you guys seem to enjoy them last time, so why the hell not? Let's get right into some of these. We're going to replay this duel for you. And most of these I'm picking specifically because they're me versus some other Utopia player. And it's just so crazy, like, the choices that people make with this deck. But it's really good, and I keep trying to tell people it's really good. I'm at level 13 for the YCS tournament right now. I think I need... or no, I'm sorry, I'm at level 15, so I need 5 more levels to be able to enter to the YCS next round. Yeah, this was absolutely nuts. So I finally unlocked the Zexal Morph 2 thing. So it's kind of tricky whether you're going first or second with this deck, but essentially the idea is that if you're going first, your best choice is to be able to negate as much as possible and to just put a big Utopia on the board that's really hard to get rid of. If they do get rid of him, you can like use your skill again the next turn, do like a board negate. So like they have to have a lot of steam to get around this most of the time, or just a really good counter to the Utopia deck type. It's very rare, but these replays are specifically mirror matches, which I thought were really interesting because it's basically like, do you know which setup to have when you go first or second with this deck, kind of? And it's also kind of like, not only do you know which setup to have, but do you know how to get around everything that the deck can do? And I keep just finding that I seem to know little tricks to the Utopia deck profile that just many people seem to either not be paying attention to or not catching. But yeah, you'll definitely see it in some of these duels, how I'll be able to dodge hand traps, move around other Utopia's effects. Like, it's so crazy. And then some of them I can see the other players making simple errors and stuff like that, so I don't really want to chalk those up to like skill or anything like that. But you will see there are definitely scenarios where knowing the correct combination of cards is actually how you're winning. Because don't get me wrong, like he's using the same skill I have. He has the out if he wants to, like if he knows how to get around my board right now, but it's just not knowing the tricks to this deck is what keeps what I keep seeing people lose to. He actually has a better deck in my opinion because he has Blue Sage in his deck, so I didn't have a copy of this card in particular, the Ascended Sage, which lets you get another freaking card from your deck. It gives you another free copy of any of the rank up magics. So basically, you're able to get around stuff that will negate things, or like all this extra stuff just by using your rank up magics to bait out spells, traps, use this cost, all this stuff. He did right by trying to go for this guy, but he didn't chain his own effect, which he really should have. So I ended up hitting him with my Utopia instead, negating his effect. So that dropped him to 1250. And then he couldn't pull any of his ZWs from the deck. So, like, really, if you're going up against Leo arms, your best bet is to go something like Utopia double, and then maybe Utopia double into Ray Victory, because then you can chain block it, kind of. So if they try to negate Double's effect, you can activate his effect and then loop. Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but that's the point. It's like, it's really insane to see like what kind of little things are making the difference here. I'll go ahead and play this one as well. I only have 3 on the list for today, but you can watch these 3 and then we'll get started into the actual meat and potatoes of the video. So this is even crazier because what he's about to set up is supposed to stop me from being able to summon anymore, if I remember correctly. And we use our Utopia stuff to dodge even that. And if this might be a different skill that I was using, a prior skill, but it's still pretty insane that you can get around it. Now, I will say this is only in Duel Links that you're able to get away with some of this absolutely degenerate stuff we can do with the Utopia deck, but if you're doing it in Master Duel, it's a lot different. I'd say there's a lot less steam. The skills do give it a lot of power. They do give it a lot of extra draw power, basically. Just getting to pick the cards you want, like that kind of thing. Yeah, I think he goes into one of the Shadow fusions that prevents you from summoning any more monsters. Oh yeah, he tried to super poly into it. Yep. Yep, it was Winda. So I think what happened here was the skill let me get around it. So basically the skill gives you the Utopia for free, so you get one summon after this. And so because you only get the one summon, you can use your rank up. And then basically negate it, and then they can't continue to use the Windows effect because it's been negated by Numeron Force. Getting right around the window with that. Absolutely ridiculous. And this is just icing on the cake here, really, but it helps you get a little more advantage if you want to do that little extra 1,000 damage to make sure you do a full 4,000 for the turn. I bet they thought, though, that they had that so in the bag when they put the window on the board. Like, oh yeah, there's no way you're summoning anything extra. Nah. That's not how we do this. Went full. I think it went into like two full more. Yeah. But I will say, out of all of the duels that were mirror matches, if we're talking about mirror matches, I did show this one off maybe the other day, but you know it's not likely that you guys who are here currently have seen this yet. But this was absolutely insane. So this guy actually knew what he was doing with Utopia deck, and I did too. And it was just a drag down, beat down in the street kind of fight between me and this dude. But what was so funny is even at the end of it, you know, we both sent each other a little like. I think I know exactly what feeling this man had. It was like, whoever wins, wins, or whatever. But it was just, every time I would play a card, he would play the mirror card and vice versa. Even like the same card to negate the same exact card. This could have been an episode. It was so ridiculous. But enjoy this nonsense. And I think he was using the skill card that was just like one tier above the skill that I currently had. So I had like Zexomorph like to the first version, and he had like the second version where you can add like 2 cards to your hand per turn. So he was just going at it, dude. I think I just got super lucky at the end of this, but still. I set up a good first turn board and everything. We were just talking about like how to get the out to this kind of Utopia stuff with Utopia, but he knew what to do in this scenario. But man, I almost literally was gonna quit this duel like 3 or 4 times. And if anything, this is a testament to why you should just play a duel out, because one card can literally make the difference. And this is one of those duels, and it gets so stupid. It started off so strong too, and he just picks me apart, I think. So we get everything you're supposed to get, like in the first turn. So you get like the negate, the non-targeting, no destruction. Yeah. Oh no, we didn't. Okay, so I didn't get non-targeting, but still I got like a negate and a pretty big monster to start with. Which is weird because I think I could have gone for a double and gone one more up, but he still does a really good job of getting around the monster effect negation here for a moment. This is before I decided to go ahead and pop Pegasus in the deck. I've kind of like gone back and forth on whether I want to keep Twin Saber, I think Pegasus Twin Saber in the deck or not, but yeah, look at him. He's just going at it, dude. Because essentially his skill just is like reveal a ZW whatever in your hand, and then you can add 2 ZS's or ZW's and an Astraltopia or whatever the hell to your hand. So it basically lets you fix your hand no matter how bricked it is. So like if you draw double or nothing, you can shuffle it back. It's a really good skill, to be honest. If you're a Utopia player, this was like a really good event, this last one. And then they did YCS stuff right after it. So see, he had no choice but to answer that Numeron, or I had no choice but to answer his Numeron thing. So basically, he knew how to negate that one card out. It was just so messy, dude. He was going crazy. he pulled out the, and so it's funny is Ray Victory is the card you kind of want, especially if you're hitting the field with Numeron Force over Leo. So if someone else summons Leo on their first turn for you, you can't go monster effects, right? So you either got to go Utopia double to dodge Leo's effect, and they might know what to do and wait for you anyway. But if they don't and you go Numeron Force, he can't get around that with Leo. So essentially, you can summon Ray Victory, and Ray Victory can topple, which means he can attack over Leo and deal 2,800 damage, plus whatever ZWs it clicks. So 4,000 is really easy. Even if their Leo has 98,000 attack, doesn't matter. Ray Victory has his attack plus theirs every time, essentially, as long as it's got material. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, this got absolutely messed up. Like, we both went into the Super Saiyan whatever Zexal form, but at the same time, I think we had to, like, at least both answer each other's negates with everything. Why is this playing some TFS now? Let's go back a little bit. Okay. Let's start the movie over. That's fine. So up here I've got some Millennium Paradox playing if you guys want to watch that. Just for goofs. A little extra something. Although, it's not that I have a problem with the TFS playing, I just don't want them to be mad at me for playing their stuff. I own this, so I can play this, like, you know. So now I think he had no choice, right? Yep. Turned it into a Numeron Force just to bait out the negate. Because they banish once you use them twice. The very rare time that Slipper Mail was actually helpful, I think, to anybody. If I remember right, he pulled out some nonsense right here, too. He got, like, a whole nother Utopia deep. You're probably thinking I'm screwed, right? But wait for it. It gets good. So, here's a little trick that happens, too. So I'm going to bait him out with the negation effect, and he's gonna destroy himself in this scenario. So you go like a Utopia, any Utopia, doesn't really matter. His effect's gonna pop off. He's gonna try to negate my effect. It's gonna destroy the Utopia. That's fine. That gives us protection back, and then on his turn, he's gonna negate this card's effect, right? He didn't need to negate it, but he was baited into it and then killed himself with that. Got 850 left, and you're probably still thinking, I'm pretty screwed. In fact, I think this man even disrespects me by hitting me with a low-ass attack monster in the face with 500 attack or some nonsense. Yeah, there's Vantage Sage. And to be fair, I really feel like he could have had this in the bag. Just, like, it was so close for him. He had 4,000 life points, pretty good lead, and then glorious numbers hit the field. So I went right back into into this guy right here. Just let him go straight for the weak monster. That's why you don't get cocky, kids. Good God. But yeah, that was crazy, right? So like as my favorite, like, so far replays of mirror matches, you know, those were all pretty good, and the deck that I'm playing isn't anything that's super crazy. So we're gonna get right into going into the YCS event today. Yeah, I think we're gonna do the championship qualifiers, and so right now we got a pretty good win streak going. As you can see, the last time I lost was a day ago, 2 days ago. So I'm trying to get back in and not lose too much. It might happen. It's not a great time of day to just be playing competitively, but either or, I think it's a good time to just get in here and kill some time and show off some Duel links. Okay, this might be an interesting matchup. Going second. Alright, we'll see what he does. It looks like Marine Cesses, maybe? I don't know. What you got? Okay, so if he might actually be playing the Shark deck. Okay. Alright, so looking forward to a lot of level 4s, a lot of respawning stuff. I don't recall any sharks that have any like hardcore negating summon abilities that I can think of that are in Duel Links, so we should be covered. But we'll see. See what he can do. Oh, is he going to double? Let's go, dude. That's for me, to him, that's kind of a spicy choice for the Shark deck. Like, I know that he's got a lot of level 4s in there, but this is cool. But it's alright. We got the out for this. We should anyway. Just gotta think it through. So 6,000, one monster effect negate. Yeah, I should be able to pull another card back from the graveyard. You got Pegasus out. So 2 monster effect negates. Alright, cool. So what we need to do is essentially plant a Utopia on the field for free. Okay, what do you do? Let me double check. Make sure. Okay, that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. I think I got him cooked. XYZ import. Okay. He's got to get more onto the field before I'm too worried about it. Alright, you have to have a monster negate. Let's see, you can summon this card. Okay, take a card, cool. Shush. Let's see. Once per turn, you can attach one to. Alrighty then. Alright, cool. So, it's got some face downs. So the only thing I'm worried about is if that's a spell or trap negation. But alright, so let's see what we can do. So first, we're gonna do this. Because we gotta go up a tier first. Card that I'm gonna return to the deck. Somebody that's not gonna help me this turn. Probably, which is unfortunate. You don't want to really use this too early on. I'm going to show this to him. Then I'll be able to pull 2 cards from the deck for free. And basically one of them I'm just going to turn into a rank up magic. That if he doesn't answer the rank up magic, then I think I got the game. So let's go activate. We're going to plant a Utopia on the board for free. And then we're going to return one to the deck. So a guy I can't use because I'm not going to spend any spells, right? And then a guy I'm not going to summon this turn. So this guy here. So now I get a free Utopia. So if he can't answer the summon of the Utopia, that's fine. This is all fine. So now I'm not going to risk Jack, and I'm just going to go straight for this. I would normally summon the Chaos Utopia in between, but now he has to answer this. If he doesn't, yep, target one XYZ monster you control, attach it to, yeah. He has no choice. Alright, so now we've got 1, 2, so we can go for our long game. So let's go 1, 2, 3. So let's go. I feel like if we do this first, he's gonna have to negate the next one with Twin Saber. And then I'm probably cooked if he negates Twin Saber. Nope. Nope. Alright, cool. So, if the XYZ monster's on the field, so we can go with this guy and bait out the negation for this guy, because if he doesn't, then, XYZ block, yup, go. We just gotta get to Ray Victory. Okay. So now we're gonna go to this guy. This is so insane. So hopefully that was all the negates. He's got a monster negate, I think, left, but we can dodge it if we be smart. It just depends on if he does the second thing. Let's see. He has an option. Effect Veiler. Alright, cool. So now we're going to dodge Veiler, but we might not dodge Twin Saber. So let's see. Jesus. There we go. He knows what he's doing with at least the Utopia deck. I kind of like how he's using the sharks to get to the Utopias. Pretty neat. Alright, so I think... he's got one, two more. Yeah. He knew the order of stuff to negate. That's the only thing that saved his life there. It's so crazy. That's what I was saying earlier. I'm not really worried about like the face-up monsters per se, or even like the Twin Saber negation. It was the back two. So I was like, man, how many? This is probably gonna still be negated though, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. Because he can't attack directly. That's the one thing that's keeping me alive right now. Is his guy can't attack directly. So we're gonna go ahead and try this again. There's nothing else to do, right? So you might as well try it again. So I'm going to return the pig dude to the deck. Here's the thing. But here's the thing. He has to answer it again. Because otherwise it still negates everything on the field. So whatever this is has to be the answer, right? No freaking way. Okay, so... if I go Ray Victory, I can attack anybody and deal 2,800 damage. But if I go with this dude, I can possibly deal much, much more damage. So let's go with our dude, because he can also negate their monster effects later on. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Alright, so we'll go with his effect. This is so messed up. So, and then we're going to take... normally, I only get one. You can't do it, dude. You're negated. Right? Should be Numeron forced. Yeah, stop it. Get out of here. Alright, so what I want to do is I'm not worried about monster effects right now. I'm worried about attacking for a lot of damage. So this will give me another 3,000 attack. So this turn, let's do that. And so I didn't summon him with anything else. Game. You never thought I was gonna win, did you? You thought I was screwed, didn't you? That's pretty fucked up, though. Gotta admit, that was pretty wild. You know what? We're gonna save that one for later. I thought that was pretty good. He did pretty cool. Yeah, whatever. You gotta send a nice to that dude. He did pretty solid. That was crazy, right? That's what I love about this deck. Like, you can be in a really tight spot, and you'll still be able to save yourself if you know what you're doing. But he knew exactly what he was doing playing that, playing the shark. Kind of like, every little negate, every reaction, dude. I'm not gonna lie, that was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. So, my deck doesn't even contain, like, the blue sage right now, which is what I'm kind of farming for. I need a copy of it so that I can actually search for my rank up magics at will. Currently, the only rank up magic you can search for is Numeron Force with the setup I have, which is unfortunate because it means that if you don't want to use Numeron Force, you're going to negate yourself as well. So you kind of have to be in a bad spot sometimes to really pull off some of these wins, but it doesn't really matter. Either way, you can kind of trick your opponent into certain things. We're going to go first, so... my idea here is to go first turn and try to get Leo arms on the board with lots of power, so lots of monster negation ability, that kind of thing. So I'm going to return this to the deck. I'm going to reveal this thing. I'm going to get 2 cards from the deck. So I'll take Astraltopia and Sage. This is kind of what I was talking about a moment ago with the searchable Numeron ability. So I don't have a Utopia on the board, so that's okay. So I'm going to turn Sage or the Fish. I don't normally do this, but I think I'm going to do the fish this time. I'm going to turn the fish into the... Sorry, excuse me. I'm going to turn the fish into the Numeron. Oh, no, he's the one I have to return. Okay, so I was doing it right. So usually I turn Sage into Numeron Force because essentially I'm not going to be able to summon Sage this turn. And it's good to just turn that level 1 monster into a whole ass Utopia and a Numeron Force, right? So you have to activate Numeron Force before before you do anything else, because if you don't, you'll negate your own stuff. So especially goes first turn. So we're gonna go for Chaos Utopia. We're gonna rank him up into Leo Utopia, and we're not gonna use Leo Utopia to go for the XYZ material stuff. We're gonna go for one from the deck. Normally this is pretty tricky because you'll go for like Pegasus if you're really afraid of monster effects, but I really think it's a good idea to go for Lightning Blade because it makes sure that he'll stick around. Well, it doesn't make sure. It just gives him 2 lives, basically. It gives him a really good chance of basically sticking around through your next turn. And he's got your monster negates equipped to him, basically. Because you can equip Twin Saber and you get a few monster negates, but if you equip, like, Leo Arms and Twin Blade, so, like, for example, I'm going to use this first effect, right? Yeah, we're going to use the first effect. We're going to drop off 1 material. So instead of grabbing this card, which gives him a 3,000 boost and 2 attacks, or instead of grabbing this card, which gives him a monster negate, you already have a monster negate. So take something like this guy. Now he's not easily destroyed. So now I can say, I'm going to activate his effect and special summon him in defense mode. Normally I would use his second effect to get the card I have in my hand. So I don't have to do that this turn. So whatever I have in my hand, I would normally use Astraltopia to get. But now you can go for the non-targeting. So we're going to go special summon. This can give us a bigger Utopia, or we can go for this Utopia. It's dangerous to do either. So I go ahead and sometimes I just go full throttle because why not? And the reason I say that is because it gives your opponent more obstacles to have to get through. It's a little more intimidating, I think, to be doing all this stuff first turn. You gotta risk it for the biscuit, man. Alright, so now we're going to get 2 cards to our hand, so we're also going to summon another Utopia. So I could summon a Utopia that can negate some attacks, but I'm going to summon one that is hard to summon without a Numeron Force. Now, sometimes I save this guy for later, but they're playing Yubel, maybe some Yubel Fusion, looks like. I can't tell just yet, but we'll see. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take him. He makes him non-targetable, right? So we're going to give that to this guy. Now he has 2 monster negates. He's non-targetable. We're going to have 1 more Speller Trap negate. It's not the 100% aces, but this is like 90%. This is pretty good relatively. There are a few other setups you could get that would be a little better. If you control, you can target 1 card on the field, special summons. Is that his monster effect? Which one's going off? Okay. Not too worried about it. That was kind of weird. I would rather negate the ritual spell anyway. Okay, not too worried about that just yet. Okay, he's getting quite a bit of advantage. Alright, so that's one we kind of have to respond to. I don't know if he can get another one, which he probably can. But, yep. Nope, we're going to wait till his monster hits the board and negate his monster's effect. Oh, goodness, we're going to give him that. He can go pin with it. What? Go up 1. Fiendish Gourmet Recipe. That's kind of cool. Using that with Yubel makes perfect sense now I think about it. But this guy is still one hell of an obstacle. No, not yet. There's no reason to negate this card right now. Yeah. He knew there was no way in hell around that setup I had. I think that's the thing is when I say go ahead and summon that second Utopia, because putting a big ass beat stick on the board makes them think, okay, well, how am I gonna get above a something that needs me to beat 5,000 attack? And if you either have that or you don't, so I don't know. We've been doing pretty good. Level 16. Oh man, I haven't been using the rage quit button for when people drop out all mad. Yeah, alright, cool. So we hit level 16. That's pretty good. We're going to go ahead and move on and see if we can go up to level 20 in the event here. Just using Utopias to get all the way through the frickin' YCS. It's going to be ridiculous. Okay, so Predaplant, not gonna lie, not a big fan of dueling these guys, but let's see what we got. Am I going first? Alright, so, not my favorite. No ZWs, can't activate any of my skills. So what I gotta do is go like this. I'll save glorious numbers for later. This means there will be no, this is gonna be like one of the weakest openings you've seen me do all night, unfortunately. So what we can do at this point, you can go to this guy, or you can go to, well, alright, you know what? We're going to be risky. If it's going to be weak, we might as well play it entertaining. So normally I play a little safer and try to like force this guy into a little bit of a long game so that I could hit him with some Utopia later down the road. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and save both of these cards. I'm not going to use either of them. I won't be able to get into something too substantial anyway, so I might as well just give him an obstacle to get rid of and make him think he's being useful. And then if I don't die, like if he can't kill me in one turn, then no big deal. I can get him back on next turn. But if he kills me in one turn, cool, no problem. So in this scenario, I can only either worry about him being destroyed twice, so double obstacle, or monster negate. I'm going to go double obstacle because generally a better choice in my opinion, because you already have a monster negate with this guy. You have glorious numbers, so when he inevitably destroys everything in here, we can hopefully summon that Utopia back. We draw ZW or an Astraltopia next turn, we can get into another series of summons. So it's just all about whether he can get this down twice. Predaplant counter, cool. See, that's where Predaplants have a real big hard time with Tornado Bringer, because he makes them non-targetable, so they cannot put Predaplant counters on your monsters. Makes it a little harder for them to do that. He's really going to go for it, though. We see Anaconda of Verte. You just got home? What's up, dude? How's it going? Let me know. There's going to be a little lag in the stream, so like by like a hair. So it'll be like 20-30 seconds. So I'll get to the comments, I promise. But sometimes I'll get distracted by the duel or the lag time. But yeah, it's good to have you in the stream, dude. You should definitely check out some of the earlier stuff. We were going kind of crazy, and we haven't lost yet, and this guy might get us. So we're seeing if you're about to clock in on the first loss of the day. He has to deal 4,000 damage to get me in the turn, but it looks like he can if he goes for a good fusion. There we go. Right as I said it, too, right? Immediately as I said fusion, he put on the field. Fused. Stupid. But yeah, so like, yeah, that's all he's got to do. He's got to be smart and go for it. 1,000? What are you doing, man? Just go for game. What are you doing? I've seen people do this before, too, where they're, like, too cautious, man. They think you got something in your hand that's going to stop them from getting game, and they're going to not be able to play through whatever the hell you're doing next turn. But just put 4,000 damage on the board, and you got it. Because if he lets me go through somehow to my next turn, I think I'm gonna get him with glorious numbers and probably go up to a Ray victory and end his world. But this is one chance, right? It's got get to be the first one of the night. I don't even know how long we've been going for. Hell yeah. That's what's up, dude. That's what's up. I gotta add your ID so that we can duel later. I just saw that today, so I'm sorry about that. The phone I use for social media died for like 2 days, and I forgot to charge it. Oh yeah, this is a monster right here. This was one of my favorite monsters from the series. It's just too good. Okay, now you should have it. Come on, dude. He's playing too cautious. Because he only targets levels, you see. So if he only does... You gotta do more, man. You gotta do more damage in this. Alright. I've seen people make this mistake so many times already. Those better be 2 negates. I don't know what to say. They better be 2 negates, dude. What does this one do? Monster leaves field, blah, 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 blah. I don't care. Okay, so... Yeah, okay. So... Battle phase. Okay, there you go. I was gonna say, you have to have more damage than this. There's no way you're playing this safe. Because that would have been the biggest mistake of the night so far, is just not putting 4,000 damage on the board. You got addicted to watching play Duel Links and Master, lost your good accounts. Like, man, I did that on my Switch. So basically, I had started way back on Master Duel when it first started on my Switch. And I switched over to like the mobile version and the PC so I could play online and shit. And had to start all over, so I didn't want to do all the storyline stuff again. But now I'm starting to do all the storyline stuff again for the gyms. But yeah, man, I will probably maybe get into some Master Duel later and another late night stream. And just super special for all us people who are on our between our 25 and 35 whatever. I did some funny late night stream cards for you guys specifically that are like Adult Swim type of themed. But yeah, let's see if we can recover. Let's bounce back here. See if we can bounce back from getting fucked up. It's okay. I knew I wasn't opening it that was like my least optimal hand all night, so I'm not even mad. I kind of went into that knowing, alright, well, shit. I'm going first. Alright, so Number Hunter. You got 9 cards in the extra deck. Power of the Future. We're both using Power of the Future. I can tell you this one's gonna suck. Alright, so let's do this. Let's go activate the skill. We're gonna try to set up as many freaking negates as possible. So first I'm gonna return Summoner Monk to the deck. I'm gonna reveal this guy. I'm gonna take Astraltopia and Red Sage. This is what I'm saying. If I had Blue Sage, this would be a lot better of a combo. I think it would go a lot cleaner. Alright, so now we're gonna return 1 card. Which sucks, but you gotta do it. So you gotta return something like this, because you want to use it later. And you want to select this guy. It sucks that it won't let you just turn another rank up magic into it, but it's nice that I have that for next turn, right? So let's go ahead and go into using like this guy here. Gonna go into one more Utopia, Chaos Utopia, then we'll probably go thinking Leo. It would be kind of ridiculous to throw two Leos in one deck, because I mean you could get to both of them in the first turn. A lot of monster negates, big obstacles, but let's do this. Sucks to kind of waste the Numeron Force this way, but you have to. So if we go Leo, he can attack directly, but his attack isn't doubled, but he can make his own attack quite large. So not something to worry about there. We're going to try to make him non-targetable. So what I'm going to do that is go drop off one material. He's going to probably expect me to play something like that, but like I said, I really like doing this. Let's go. And so if you, also just a note, if you are going to go with Pegasus, the Twin Saber, to negate monster effects, you need to do that through his effect, not through other effects like I'm about to do. So for example, I'm going to do this anyway. It's real risky, but I'm going to do this to show you the optimal setup, because whether you like it or not, you're either going to, this is going to get played through or not. So we're going to go ahead and summon him through his effect. Right? We're going to use him to get rid of the number, Numeron Force, to gain the negation. Right? So now I'm going to plant one negation, so I have one monster negate, one spell or trap negate. We're going to normal summon, and we're going to go for non-targeting. So special, another Utopia, we're going to go double. Now it sucks that you can't do this in reverse, because then you could use Astraltopia to get rid of double or nothing. But it's alright, because double or nothing can be used and turned into cost later. So, just depends on what you do. So we're going to get rid of him. We're going to get one ZW as well. So we're going to go for this Utopia. It's going to double his attack. That's why I'm going for this one. He has 2800. Higher base stat than most Utopia cards. He said you'll be up late tonight. Oh, hell yeah, man. You'll be able to see the timer thing. It's really funny, I promise. I put up some really stupid shit just for you guys. It's really funny. I tried to make sure that the timers weren't boring, so that if I have to get up or something, or like take a little break, that at least whoever's still watching isn't just waiting for 5 minutes. It's actually like super legit, dude. I made it like 5 minutes of Adult Swim commercial, like kind of bumpers, or whatever the hell they call them. Isn't that what they call it? Like a bumper? But anyway, it's pretty funny, I promise. It'll be great. Alright, so he's gonna go Zexel 2. Alright, I gotta pay attention, man. So basically, I got one monster negate. He's got the ability to go into Numeron Force, and I have no choice but to negate Numeron Force as soon as he plays it. Why did you... Well, okay, no, I don't need to stop that. Keep going. He's gonna summon another one. Is he going to do the same thing the other guy did? Nope. Keep going. If you... Okay. Okay, and then you summon Utopia for free. Right. And then what? Okay, why... It's a weird path, but you know what? It's cool. I would need to negate it regardless. The Numeron Force is what I set that for. It's the same. This is exactly what we wanted to negate. Alright, what you got now? He's thinking. He's thinking about life choices. He can get another one using this guy. But if he does, then I can negate that monster's ability with this guy. That's the whole thing. I just can't destroy that monster's ability. So, unfortunately, he goes in a double. He's going to use double. Double. Are you using double's actual ability, or... Oh, man, it's not letting me be able to tell. I can't... Okay, so I'm gonna have to, because at least Numeron Force won't negate my stuff even if he ranks up himself with Double's ability. There you go. It's the only way to dodge my card effect negating his card effect whole thing. But does this Utopia... His Utopia back here doesn't have any materials, though. Ah, shit. Okay, also one other slightly bad thing is that the card effect negation thing. I can't negate him from doing anything. I should have waited on the double. I think that's why I did last time. Yeah, these are super tricky, man. These mirror matches get crazy with these. Because you have to know exactly which one to bait out and stuff. But even still, he has to go into a Neuron Force to get rid of these. And, or, well, we'll see. We'll see what he does. Go into a Chaos Utopia, okay, get a Barian, get one material. Okay, not a big deal. Okay, go into another Leo. I guess he's going for trying to, like, do damage, maybe? Because if not, this isn't enough. Okay, pitch, get your negate, right? Like, what else? What else, dude? You have to go for the negate. There's no way. Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say, there's no other card. There's no other choice. This is exactly what happened last time. So if he destroys any of these guys, by the way, I get my negate back. So it gets ridiculous. So he's gonna detach material, take one. 8k, so he's gonna try, it looks like he's gonna try to do some topple. Why would you summon it? I know you're probably gonna go for another 4, but you would have done so much better equipping that to your 8,000 attack monster, letting it attack everything on the field once. Could have had the whole game in the bag that way. Like, that's nice that you got another Utopia, but you just wasted the hell out of that. Why? I think he's never gotten this far into him. He's not used to mirror matches with the Utopia deck, is what it seems like. Yeah, you're just cutting him back down to the normal attack he had. It's not a big deal. You have to hit this guy. That's the only way, yeah. Because that's kind of like the only way around is, like, dealing enough damage. Because all the card effects stack. If you don't have something that just, like, flips them face down or something. There we go. That was the only way through, man. It's the only way through. Mirror matches get fucking nuts. Just back and forth and back and forth. Alright, so we're starting to get a little shady here with 2 losses. I don't feel good about that, kids. So, gotta kill somebody soon. It's taking quite a bit. Alright, I guess he just bottomed out or whatever the hell that's called whenever you... Alright. Another mirror match. Here we go. Here we go again. Going first again. God dang it. Alright, here we go. Let's try. We're both using Power of the Future. I told you, man, now that we're all the way up here at the top of the qualifiers, you know, it's kind of what everyone wants to use. So first, let's return Pegasus and Double or Nothing to the deck. So we're going to shuffle Double or Nothing back for sure. Alright, so now... Damn, man. So for a good first turn, I still think that's a good way to go. They have to be smart about responding. So let's do this. Get our free Utopia first. return this dude to the deck because I want to pull him later. You can't just attach him. So I want to turn this guy into double. Yeah, this is actually might work out a little better. So maybe. I might end up putting another Leo Arms in here just for goose to see if it's a better first turn setup to go into 2 Leo Arms. Alright, so I know I'm going up against the Utopia deck per se, so I'm going to go for the monster negation for this time. Normally I'd go non-targeting and stuff if I wasn't too sure, but I think for this particular round it's smart to go that way. I think it's also smart to have the spell or trap negation kind of set up and ready to go using his effect, so get rid of Vanish Sage and go ahead and draw this so you can play it. So it's a very similar setup to what I did just last go around, but with this I'm also going to make him indestructible this turn. I may save this Utopia double, but it's real. Well, no, I'm not gonna. It's usually really hard to actually get after you use all these skills to get a bunch of cards in your hand to go for another Utopia double. So let's see, let's go to this. It's still a good obstacle on the board. Yes. Difficult choice, but keeps him from destroying the Pegasus as well. So, best solid-ish option. So I've got now I've got the 3 monster negates, or 2 at a time, and then 1 spell or trap negate. So I have, again, you have to use the spell or trap on the Numeron force, so your whole field doesn't get negated. Oh, he kaiju'd me. Nope. He knew exactly. He was like, dude, I'm not dealing with this shit. Because basically what that will do is prevent you from using your negate. And it's non-targeting. It's kind of like splash damage. But he's definitely got it after that. Because if he just goes into Ray Victory, he's got a game. I'm not even going to complain about that one. God damn. Yep. I guess you could do Leo Arms and just go into 8,000 attack, and that's also the same thing as Ray Victory at this point, but still I digress. Just gonna go double and then Ray Victory? Yeah. Makes sense. That's a really spicy choice to throw a Lava Golem in the middle of this, though, but I guess that gets rid of just problematic things, and it's something you know you can mow over. So I gotta respect it, to be honest, a little bit. It's old school, but still works pretty well. But I guess it only works if your opponent has a bunch of monsters out. So if I only had 1 problem monster out, I don't think that would have worked. So sometimes win more doesn't help you at all. But I also don't beat myself up about stuff like this, because there's just no way you can really predict getting lava golemed per se. Oh yeah, so he is doing a double Leo over here. Or Ray? Yeah, it's Leo Ray. Yeah, that makes more sense actually. So I might actually tweak the deck to do 2 Leos for opening, because I've been literally first turn like the last 4 duels. Oh, went down one. Alright, so I gotta go back up one. But that's alright. We're gonna go tweak this deck just a little bit. Get out of here. So let's see. This is the deck I'm playing right now. And I was just kind of experimenting with adding stuff like this card in here. So I might remove that and see how, if any way, I want to make space for this guy. I really like using the Ray V sometimes because he can just destroy a card and then deal damage to your opponent. Could be a good answer to other stuff. I just don't use... I guess you could take out one of the Utopias. You just have to be really risky, be very intentional, because you get the one free Utopia from the skill. That's risky, but you know what? We'll try it. So we'll go with 2 of these guys, and we'll add 2 of him to the deck, so that we can actually... actually, let me also see something here while we're at it. Yeah, I think we might go with that. So there's a lot of other stuff. We don't need that. There's a lot of other stuff to these, but I thought about doing 2 doubles just so you could go for multiple rank up magics if you can shuffle them back anyways. So I mean, 2 doubles and 2 Leos maybe. I don't know. I want to take a little think about this. I do need to run to the bathroom and all that stuff, so I'm going to put on a little timer for you guys. I hope it's enjoyable. It'll be the little meme timer this go around, but I'll see you in just about 5 minutes. Alright, sorry about the little bit of delay. We are back here. We're going to be getting into some more of this Duel Link stuff. So I'm trying to figure out the best ratio for the cards I'm using here. I'm thinking I'm going to do another Utopia Leo to see if I can get kind of like a better opening first turn, if I'm going to go ahead and do that opening first turn. So yeah, let's get right into it. Let's see, I think I'm going to go ahead and try this ratio out. I might remove the Buster. We're going to remove... I kind of like having... Well, I guess you don't need Magical Mallets so much anymore as I once did. So we're going to go ahead and drop that. We don't need a lot of the rank 4s as much with the skill. I don't really need this guy as much. He does come in handy sometimes. We can get a little bit more degenerate and play some stuff just to get around other people's like bigger monsters. But I think we're gonna try this just to see if we can get better opening turns, and then we'll see kind of where we go from there. You know. If the game ever responds. There it goes. Goodness. Alright, so let's try and see if we can get in here and get a rank back up. I'll get there one way or the other, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta figure out the right ratio of cards to actually be able to knock people out of this tournament here. Once you get up to this stage, it's like the last 5 levels, so it's kind of hard. People are very competitive at this stage. That is a really cool playmat. It's at the fire AI dude. So I gotta go first. So this is good actually, because we wanted to test this. So let's see, we can go 1, 2, monk. This isn't as good as we wanted though, because it doesn't let me test the full thing I wanted to. But that's okay, we can go... Alright, so we're gonna summon... This is really dumb and risky for no reason, but I'm about to use up all my life points on this, but... So, I guess we can go... Use this. Can get rid of Monk. We can at least try to summon a ridiculous obstacle, I guess. Next best thing, right? So if you can't draw rank up magic, this is the best way to go. Unfortunately, this is why you need Blue Sage in the deck. He would fix a lot of the problems here. Let's go tactics. I'm gonna activate his effect, so that gives us another draw. This way, at least if I somehow survive, we've got a lot of cards to start with next turn. But we can at least make our boy non-targetable and indestructible. Gain a lot of advantage for no reason. So let's go get rid of this. Make him... I would normally go for this. I really would. But that's just negating one monster effect. And playing only one monster is risky, but it is a good way around like the big kaiju types of things like Lava Golem in this scenario. Let's see what they got. Okay. Okay, terraforming, magical meltdown. Alright, alright. This is actually a cool archetype though, so I'm not even mad. But we're gonna have to negate Alistair the Invoker's effect. Yeah, we don't have a choice. We have to respond to it. Do they have another card to respond to him? They got like an effect wheeler or something? What's going on? You got a quick play fusion spell possibly? So we can only not negate his fusion spells? Is that what that's saying? The activation of fusion effects include the effective fusion monster. Okay. Maybe he's trying to figure out if he's been stopped or not, or if it's going to go through. So he's thinking. Ah, that's a cool card. I actually really like that one. It's basically a dragon that just negates. Yeah. He's just a hand trap dragon. This guy here. Just in case you were curious who I was referencing. I think he's great for like Chaos Dragon decks where it's like light and dark, because then you can basically immediately pitch him to negate, but then also banish him for cost. It's just a really cool card. Okay, so Harpy is going for a spell and trap destruction maybe. Quick effect, right. Okay. Go into a 2 and then to a 10 maybe? Let's see. Nightmare Phoenix. Stupid. All you can do is break this one. Stop it. Go home. He didn't even target the correct one. He probably just now figured that out too. It's like, oh shit, okay, well. Could have gone into something else and did something useful, but it's okay. You could probably still get something there. It looks like they know how to play at least. They're not here at this round for no reason, right? Got one bulb. Here, let me move that, sorry. Okay. Okay, that's fair. Let's see if he wants to target the wrong card on the field and destroy it, like this guy, or nothing else, because that's all he can target. And actually, he can't target this guy. He can maybe destroy this or this if he's smart. Let's see what they do. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you put a big enough obstacle, this does actually work quite often. I just happened to have a little bit of bad luck earlier, but like this does do pretty good. And you have to figure out quite a bit just to get around the ways things are actually activating. So, for example, he's giving the non-targeting, but he's giving the whole back row non-destruction. But he's also giving him non-destruction. So it's like you have to go through Lightning Blade first. And I really shouldn't be giving the secrets of the Utopia deck away like that. But, you know, I digress. It's a good way to learn how to play this deck and play against it. The mirror matches in this game are honestly the hardest in my opinion. We're seeing he's thinking about something. God dang. This is exactly why there's a movie above me and memes below me for moments like this right here. Oh snap, you want to know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? The first rage quit of the night, where they just could not figure out the answer for my absolute nonsense. And I get it, I lost a few first, but still, that's quite funny to me. Let's move on and get into the next duel. At least we broke the the little 2-loss or whatever losing streak there. I hate when that happens, especially because we got demoted over it. But let's go ahead and see if we can get back up a couple of tiers here. I think we got dropped to 14, so we got to get back up to 15. But it does look like that fixed the ratio of what we were playing for a good minute, so at least that's good, right? Also, guys, you know, I would really appreciate it if you enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh content to like and subscribe to the video, like the video because it helps it out, and subscribe to the channel because I genuinely want you guys to be part of the Yu-Gi-Oh community that we're building, because we're going to do a lot of cool stuff. Alright. Is he going first? Yes. Okay, so generally I do like to play second with this deck because you can go for, like, I just prefer to bait out a few negates, because it's like a game I know I can win to some degree, is playing through certain things. Sky Striker, oof. This is a tough one though, because if they can get up to their 3 negates per turn, then it kind of cooks you. But if they can only get up to like 1 or 2, you can still get it. So discard 1 card from my hand to draw 1. Sure, we'll discard this dude. That doesn't really give away my deck archetype or anything. Three face downs. So no monsters his turn is what happened. So what, crackdown, some other stuff. Let's go ahead and see if he's going to quit on us, because it looks like he might. He might not, but you know, whatever. Select a card to return to the deck. Let's return this one. We're not going to use that right now. Going to reveal this. So he's going to have a negate to get through what I'm about to do, but let's find out. Sky Striker is generally what I would say is one of my difficult matchups, but it all just depends on what those 3 back rows are. So I'm going to return 1 to the deck. So I'm going to return that one. And then I'm going to turn 1 into a magic card. So let's do this. Let's turn that one into it. Let's see what he's got to respond to this. Now all we really need to do is go into a Utopia Ray Victory, because he can get us to our damage requirement, if that makes any sense. So what I'm going to do here is go see if he's got a response. That's fine. Cool. Alright, so now we can go into our second play, which is go in here, activate this guy, get into our second Utopia. We're going to use this one. Just in case we have to play through another turn with this guy, I'm going to use him to get a copy of the negation numbers protection from the deck. If not, he can try to negate this, but if not, it's going to just help me out a little bit further down the line. Because even if he pops a Utopia or negates an attack, this will help us get through the next turn. Because we got glorious numbers in our hand, which will give us any Utopia, and then I'll get a... What you got? It's gonna have to respond to something eventually, man. You're gonna have to pick a poison. Alright, so if I go for double, I can rank up and trick him into something, but if I go for this one, I can just grab, for example, yeah, I think I might, such a tough choice, I might have to save the rank up Utopia. You know what? Actually, we're going to go for it so that we can negate his monster. I'm going to go for the long game. I'm going to assume that I might not last 2 turns, just to be safe. Sky Striker is just one of those ones I don't play with too much. I mean, I play against them enough that I don't goof around when I'm dueling against them. So he has a chance to respond here. The reason I'm doing this guy instead is because I want to see if he will try to... So if we go non-targetable, that's good. But it only gives us 13. It's a tough choice, man. I'm going to go non-targetable. I'm not worried about getting destroyed this turn. He has to respond to it, so let's go activate. We're going to give this one to him. What you got? We're going to wait. Yeah, I think I'm just going to hit him for 25. Let's see what it does to that. 25. Alright, cool. So, the reason I'm not going into double and using anything there is because if he happens to, or double itself will summon something that can't attack directly. So they need a monster on the board for that to actually be enough damage to actually get rid of them. So we'll see what he does. He's going to play face down, no monsters. I must be super lucky this round, to be honest. Yeah. He is not having a good time over there. So we're going to risk it a little bit. I'm going to shuffle this back, show this to the opponent, and grab 2 cards. Just because it's good business. Turning 1 into 3. So then next we can turn another one into another Numeron Force, which we don't need to absolutely do. We can also use him to turn him into another. See what he does to this. How many negates we can get through. Anything. Okay. Normal summon. Anything. And then we're going to go into using another Utopia just to get to the ZW that I want. So he's probably wondering, why the fuck haven't you used Double's effect yet? I'm waiting. I'm using Double to dodge hand traps, that's why. You only want to use Double's effect either as an intimidation tactic or if there's a monster already on the field. So now he has to respond to that. And either let me get the ZW or not, right? So now I'm going to take this guy. So I have a guaranteed attack all the way through. So I'm going to activate him because I don't need to get a free Utopia right now. I don't need to activate my skill. We have a thing we like to say, just because you can doesn't mean you should. It's one of those situations I do believe. So I'm just going to go into battle and attack with this dude because he can't be destroyed or targeted. So they have to do quite a bit to get him to stop. If you control no monsters, target one effect monster and negate it. Oh, okay. Who and why? Yeah, because we can still attack through him. Let's wait and see what it does. Yep. He knew there was nothing else. He knew there was nothing else. At least he was a good sport and played it through though, right? That's what, not gonna lie, the new Yuma skill is kind of boring when you're going against it. It's like Dragon Contact. Yeah, I mean, kinda. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want to be playing against this necessarily. I just happen to be a Utopia player for a real long time. So I do like the skill and stuff, but it's just because it was enhancing a deck I was kind of already playing. But I mean, there's a lot of skills in this game that are just as degenerate, I would say. It's just, I think this one specifically giving you like 6 skills per duel is ridiculous. Here, I'll show you what I'm talking about when we hit deck editor. For the people who haven't seen it yet for whatever reason. So the skill is called Power of the Future. And what it does is essentially, you can only use it by having certain stipulations like playing Utopias or level 4s. Which is how they kind of justify you getting to get away with this. And I call it 6 skills even though it only activates 4 times, but because you essentially get like 2 cards per time, and just trust me, it's quite a bit. So essentially, as long as you have 1 monster in your hand that has ZS in the name, which is like the Zexal Sages, red or blue, so 6 of those cards out of 20, if you draw any of them, which you have a high likely chance of doing, you can reveal 1 of those, or 1 Astraltopia, 3 more cards, so 9 cards out of your 20 card possible deck, half of it can be revealed to basically morph into Zexal 2 and add 2 of those cards to your hand. That basically is a ridiculous amount of steam for no reason, and it means it's really hard to brick with this deck now. So if you know the strategies and all that stuff, and you know exactly like what your end game is, like what your line of summoning needs to be, then it's great. But without that, that's why I say this deck works better in Duel Links now than in real life, like in IRL. So anyway, so you can also activate this skill after morphing into Zaxel 2. You can reveal any one card in your hand, so it says the true form of one card, so I guess like the actual card. And then it turns into a rank up magic Neuron Force, and you play one additional Utopia. So what this does is it gets rid of 2 cards from your hand, but adds 2 cards to your hand. That's why I say this is like additional skills. But I digress. It's just a really, really good skill, and even the one right next to it was pretty good. That lets you just get a free Utopia on turn 2. It's just that one lets you fix your hand. I could take out cards that I didn't really need, like what was this one? Magical Mallet. So sorry, I was just brain fart for a minute. But yeah, Magical Mallet just lets you fix your hand. But if you can do that through the skill, you can waste one less card slot doing that. So I think that's a great way to do this. You said the skill is just set up many negates without the Super Brawler. Yeah, exactly. But when you think about a deck like Utopia, who's super susceptible to like summon negation, kaijus, stuff like that, I do think that it needed something like this to actually be competitively viable again. Because while Leo Arms is really good, he's also kind of easy to get rid of if you know what you're doing. I've seen plenty of people just like dust him, no problem. And I've also seen people rage quit at seeing him. So it just depends on like somewhat your skill level and somewhat what you're willing to put up with when you're dueling other people. Alright, so I'm going first. So let's see how many negates we can set up, I guess. Let's go return to the deck. Let's return you. Show this one. Means I'll have an extra Sage to turn into something else. Okay, go skill. I should also probably prepare like a second deck for stream so that you guys can watch something additional here. Let's see, select a card. I'm going to turn you into it this time. It's kind of an interesting choice, but it gives you everything you need to kind of consistently do this, and that's a big trick to this game too. It's just consistency against who, what, doesn't really matter. Just can you keep doing the same thing based off of no matter what cards you draw? Can you do the same thing over and over? Because that's kind of the whole game. So I get that you don't want to duel someone who does the same thing over and over, but that is consistency. That's kind of how you win in this game. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of you. Good, take that. It'd be so cool if he had a better graveyard effect as well, because then pitching him in this combo would do much better. Like I said though, this is me doing all of this shit without the blue mage, so if I can go ahead and farm out some gems and get a hold of the blue mage, this will be much better. We're gonna go ahead and do this now, just to put another large obstacle on the board. Now he looks like he might be playing something relatively serious, like a good magician deck, but I've beaten a few, so I'm not too worried about it. Deck to the hand, we're gonna go with this. We're gonna go with maximum negations this time. I wouldn't normally do this, but against magicians I think it might be a good idea. Normally I do non-targeting, but I'm less worried about that if I've got the destruction prevention card here. And now there's no reason to rank him up right now, unless I want to go into another Leo, but I don't have to. I can do that next turn, and it still get relatively the same result. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end my turn here, so that it will get me 3 monster negates, hopefully. Let's see. The Pot of Greed in defense position uses effect to draw 3 addition. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Summon the Pot of Greed. That would be kind of cool, though. Like, bad cool, but cool that they would do a Pot of Greed archetype. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get rid of the first one. Kind of have to. I just need to get more of these, but the only way to get this card in particular is through, it's not even an event, it's like a special thing. Okay, so you got a Dark Magic Boy. That's fine. We don't need to worry about what you're doing with your life yet. Can't destroy him. I can negate the monster effect, and I should be able to dodge 1 destruction or card effect in general, and negate actually 2 monster effects. So let's see. See what it does. It's only got a few options to get around it, I think. It's got 3 cards in hand. Yeah. If you control Dark Magician, add 1 secret to Dark Magic. So he can go for his fusion, so double magicians or whatever, or he could go for the ritual, because that counts as both. We'll see what it does. No, I'm not worried about it yet. I'm not worried about nothing until he has a monster that can actually beat one of my monsters. That's a lot of time, too. People will start popping off and then reacting to things that you don't need to react to. Yeah, we knew this was coming. So now we're going to do this. And we're going to negate his card effect. So he can't do squat. And cut his half attack. So the only thing he does, secondly, is get him an additional magician. So your opponent's about to end his or her turn. Alright, cool. We're going to save this for my turn. Got me a Pigman. Alright, so I can do this. I can turn the Pigman into something. I can get a free that too. So let's actually just do this. I'm going to detach this. I'm going to see if he's going to react. Once per turn, a card effect is activating trigger 1 Dark Magician, special summon Dark Magician trivia. If this face up card on the field, no, not worried about that. What is he gonna summon though? Oh, we're not worried about that either. Okay, so I'm gonna equip him with Tornado Bringer just to make him a bigger brick. Normally I'd equip him with more nonsense that would make him able to attack everybody. Dude, you can't use your effect. What are you talking about? Chain with another card or effect. Oh, he's done. I don't need to chain with nothing. So what we're going to do, though, we're going to chain with him, use our own thing, and go into double, go into Ray Victory, or I could go into this guy. No, I need to slow the fuck down, okay, so, never mind, I guess not. I guess our boy's just gonna rage quit. It's gonna be done. Alright, no, for real though. Come on, man. This is pretty messed up. We already knew. We already knew. Sorry, I switched between my late night cards there. But yeah, so we already knew he was gonna quit, but there was no way around that nonsense. There's no way around my nonsense tonight. Alright, made a comeback, baby. Let's go. Let's go. So it looks like the minor tweaks kind of helped a lot, so that's good. Alright, what you got? Oh shit, it's another mirror match. This is, I'm telling you, every time I get up to like the last 4 levels, it's all Utopia's Exel people because they know right now this is the deck to play if you really want to get far. Or at least, I guess, get quite a bit of damage in one turn. Oh, is he going first? Let's see. Nah, let's see what he does. Sometimes they know what they're doing. They set up like a couple Leo Utopias or whatever. I keep calling Leo Utopia. Utopia Ray. Anything? Maybe they didn't draw good cards? I don't know. They're thinking. We both have the same power, which is this one. It's the Zexal 2 thing. So if I've got it and he's got it, he's got to be basically... The only times this power doesn't work is if you don't draw any ZWs or whatever, ZSs, sorry. So like, if he happened to brick or something, draw all spells, that would be kind of interesting. But he's probably just choosing. It's not hard. It's only like two combo lines you should really be going for with this deck. So we'll see what he does, though. How long have we been going for? I gotta check the stream time. An hour and 41 minutes. Alright, well, that's not too bad. Might go for another 20 at the very least. Dude, are you gonna play something? Are you gonna quit? You gonna choose what you're gonna do with your life? Watch me regret this. Watch him absolutely fuck up my whole world just because I said... No, seriously. So, I guess the only thing we can really do is think about what we would do. So, we didn't draw any ZSs either. So, technically, if you get a hand like this, you kind of brick. But we could go 1, 2. That's 1 Utopia. That would give us the ability to go into 1 Chaos. So, then we could go probably double on his turn since our turn. Double could get us to a Ray Victory, Tornado Bringer. That would be at least good enough to probably get through any monster that gets played in attack position, unless he has a way to get to his negation. So we'll see what's up, because the negation numbers protection thing is the only thing I usually worry about having to get around with this deck. But if they just summon monsters that stop monster effects, you can kind of get around a couple of those. You just have to trick him into using his Ray so that he can negate that effect. But we'll see. Man, he's just... I feel like he's just being a dick and gonna try to make us time out now because he didn't draw a good hand or something. I hate when people do that. Not good for streaming entertainment, kids. You're lucky I can't read Japanese. I'd be pronouncing your name all fucked up like on street. Now I'm playing. Hey, you saw yourself up there? Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. His whole strategy now is I didn't draw good cards maybe, so I'm gonna make the timeout go off or whatever. Yep. What a dick. You know what that counts to me though as? That counts as a rage quit, kids. He's done. He's cooked. Get out of here. Yeah. You don't belong here. Go home. No, I'm just kidding. He really though, come on now. What a dick move of a way to do it. To just... You're in a competitive tournament at this tier level. You should definitely not be doing that. Looks like we got the win streak back up though, so we're going to get right back into it. Look at this. That's how I know that's bad. We just lost like 3 viewers because they didn't want to watch his boring ass just sit there and and be a dick and time us out for no reason. Good God. Churlish. Okay, so Evil Twin, Ghost Girl, alright. They're gonna go first. We got a good chance of actually doing something if they don't build up 3 negates, I feel like. So let's see what they got. Let's see what they got. Also, big thank you to everyone who is here, by the way. Not that I really was that butthurt about anybody leaving. I was just saying, it was just funny. But big thanks to everyone who is here. I appreciate you watching the stream. It's helping me get my watch time hours up, so... Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye on what he's throwing. Shadow. Okay, so there's only 2 ways around this. So if he's setting up what the fuck I think he's setting up, which is Winda. If he ends up on Winda, then I have to go for my skill, and you gotta go around it with Numeron Force, unless he has 2 negates. But We'll see. Right. And I'll try to change this little meme timer tomorrow for the next stream by the time we get to the next one. You went window, so you can't summon any more monsters. You think you're gonna block me out of summoning, but guess what? Let's see. Let's wait. Let's just wait and see if he ends time. Pass turn, dude. Let's go. Pass turn to me already, and let's go. Yeah, okay, so he only gets one summon after this, so what are you doing? I am a bit more curious now, because usually people hit up this window, they get into like one more little thing, and then they pass turn like this and one negate, maybe. So he's just adding one. What now? I'm very suspicious of what's going on. Yeah, exactly. Rage quit. You got it. Sorry, I know that comment's kind of late, but dude, you gotta admit, that shit's so funny. Gets me every time. Every single time. So he gets one more special summon. Okay, okay, okay. Must be perfect, blah, blah, blah. Start a damage step. Discard battles another monster, blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck about that. Okay, so... Okay, yeah, no, it should be fine. I think we still might have it. We just gotta see if we can get away with our card effect here. I think our skill lets us dodge window, but let's see. By the way, this is a major pain in the ass generally, and most games, but... So let's see. Any card effects? Activate skill. Alright. So, card to return to the deck. Bye-bye, piggy. Card shows your opponent. Zexomorph going Super Saiyan. Gonna go ahead and take... Ooh, I already got one of those, so we'll take one of these and one of these. Nice, nice. Now we're gonna go ahead and summon a free Utopia, because if you don't do it this way, then you're stuck. So select a card to return to the deck. So we're gonna return Goblinberg. Actually, no, we'll return this guy. And then select a card to turn into... Yeah. Alright, so now we're going to get a free Utopia. Alright, so here's the trick, man. Here's the trick, ladies and gentlemen, on how you get around window using the skill. That did not count as a summon, right? For the game. And they can't negate a spell card. So do not go into the second Utopia and stack up. Just settle on the fact that you're going to get this one, and that's it. So we're going to go straight into this one, because he's going to negate all their card effects. All gone. All done. So now we can summon again. So you're either about to quit the game, or you're going to let me punch you in the throat for summoning Winda, and that's it. And we're going to call this a day. This is what you get for doing Winda on first turn, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not really that sorry. Come on, man. He's choosing. He's trying to figure out if he's mad enough to leave the game or not. Alright, he's not that mad. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and say special summon. Dude. How many effects do you think I'll get through before he says fuck it and leaves? I'll be surprised if he lets me go through to battle phase, to be honest. To be honest. Alright, let's go. Come on. Every little thing he's like, oh shit. Should I do anything against that? So we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna go ahead and take numbers protection straight from the deck for the negate on the next turn. And then a little trick I like to do is when I exceed summon, for example, so I'll exceed summon for this, for double or nothing, to give him something to be wary of, because I don't plan on using this Utopia at all for the rest of the duel. It doesn't, I mean, it seems like a waste, I know, but trust me, it's just smart as shit if you want to get around nonsense. So first I'm going to use this Utopia. He's going to decide on whether he wants to make life choices or not. And then when he finally decides, I'll activate Utopia again, and then I'll finally get an additional card. So I'm doing all this just to mask the fact that I'm trying to get a ZW from my deck to my hand. So essentially, even if he had activated something along those lines, he would have only negated a part of that effect, and none of that part would I have cared about. And I can actually make him more useful. This is what I was talking about using him earlier. I can make him more useful just by playing him. And then I'm going to take somebody that will give me a high enough attack. So 1200 to 28 gives me 4000. So now he has to keep deciding. He's still figuring it out. So I'm going to double check, make sure it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So that part doesn't matter. So now you can be destroyed by card effects. So check this out. So we don't have to do this way. I just had the option. I guess I have a lot of hate for this card. So the only card effects that can dodge this stuff is like hand traps or stuff in the graveyard. And that's why I say in this format it works really well. And now he has to choose whether he's going to negate this or deal with this or whatever. But that doesn't matter because I'm just sitting on this negate and this tiger. Yeah. What you got? Alrighty. He can add a Shadow Trap to his hand. Cool. Not gonna matter because we just wanted you to take some damage possibly, but also for me to dodge you getting out of this. That's all I wanted, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go straight to battle phase and punch him in the mouth. He can't activate spells or traps in response to this, and he has to eat the full damage. His monster effects are negated. It's clean. We went home. Alright, it's done deal. Yep. This is a bit of a better tweak of a version that we've got going on here because we've been kind of just racking the wins up in this particular section. So I'm going to call it here for a second. I think I'm going to switch you guys over to one of my other late night stream tabs. I think you'll enjoy it. They're pretty funny, actually. I really enjoy the Adult Swim themed ones. But also, if you guys want to watch Millennium Paradox or you want to watch Neo Duel Went Drops, don't forget to subscribe and all that good stuff. I really appreciate you guys showing up, and I will see you tomorrow. Our stream has done so much better this time around, so if you're interested in how Neo Duel works, also I'll be doing a stream for that tomorrow after 10 a.m. I started to say after 10 a.m. because 10 has been apparently an impossible time for me to make sure I get online for you guys. But I want to make sure that we keep it around that time at least. So I'm going to leave you with one more timer for us on the play out for tonight. But thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video.
I've created a new dual disc that will completely change how we play the game. Go. Neo Summon. I'm gonna take you down, get my puppets back. Destroy your master!
still doing here? The stream's over. Go home. Get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow.